Hey everybody, I'm KHOU 11 Meteorologist Pat Cavlin here, just with an update on the heavy rain that we're expecting here in southeast Texas as we go through the next few days. First and foremost, Monday is going to be a total washout, and I think this will actually be the worst of the 3-day-long stretch of heavy rain that we see here as we get into the upcoming week. So let's talk about where all of this is coming from. There's an upper level low out towards the Four Corners that is going to set up this highway of Pacific moisture pretty much right over southeast Texas. At the surface, high pressure has now moved off towards Florida and the eastern Gulf. And on the back side of that, we're getting all this Gulf moisture that's going to come in. Those two will combine to just create rounds after round after round of heavy rain for us here in southeast Texas. So it's going to be a really unsettled, gloomy and crummy start to the upcoming week, and there could be a low level potential for some flooding. So here's what future track looks like as we get you into Monday morning. So 8 to 9 o'clock, we're seeing showers start to overspread the area. The yellow, the orange and the red indicates where the heaviest rainfall rates are. And notice it's still pretty far to the west of the city as you're off to work or getting the kids to school. I would say by mid-morning into the middle part of the day, so 10, 11, 12 o'clock, that's when that heavy rain starts to spread farther to the east. And it's going to take its time, and that's where flooding could become a concern, where you get these heavier rounds of rain moving over the same area for an extended period. So there's 1:30 for Monday afternoon. I would say by dinner time Monday, the bulk of this finally starts to move off towards the east, but this is just round one that we're talking about. Remember, we've still got more over Tuesday and Wednesday, but I think by 6 and 7 o'clock Monday evening, that's when we should start to transition from a steady rain to just some pockets of showers. And these showers can still be heavy, but I don't think we're going to see the widespread flooding threat as we get into the evening hours. Then we get you into Tuesday morning. Notice not everyone is seeing green, but we do have some pockets of potentially heavier rain. I do think the worst of it on Tuesday stays farther to the north of the city. Doesn't mean that we don't have a chance for showers everywhere, but the better chances are as you go up I-45, up the East Tex Freeway. Flooding could be a concern where heavy pockets of rain go over the same areas that were saturated on Monday, but I do think the flooding threat is a little bit lower on Tuesday. Watch this though. This is brand new model information. This is the European model. By Tuesday evening, we could start to see some heavier downpours and storms, especially to the west of the city. And I do think that fills in big time. Models are consistently putting out this signal that Tuesday night into Wednesday could be our second big round of rain. So the first big round comes in Monday, and I think the second one comes in Tuesday night to Wednesday. I mean, look at the whole screen here showing green and a lot of pockets of yellow, orange, and red. That will carry over into Wednesday morning. I think by midday Wednesday, so 11 and 12 o'clock, the worst of it starts to move off towards the east, and the back end finally pushes through as a weak frontal boundary gets the bulk of this moisture out of here. But by the time it's all said and done, I mean, we could see some really impressive rain totals across the area. On average, I would say 4 to 6 inches of rain, with locally higher totals possible, especially wherever you see that pink to magenta shading. That's where we could see totals upwards of 6, 7, 8 inches. And again, if you get these big rounds of rain that move over the same area time and time again, that's where those totals could really add up in a hurry. And that's where flooding becomes a little bit of a concern. So let's talk about the flooding risk. I think it's a low end risk. So we have our flooding scale up here on the top. Green indicates there's a chance, but it's pretty low. Yellow indicates more of a low chance, medium then in orange, and high in red. So for Monday, we put it in the yellow category, a level 2 out of 4. It's a low chance because the ground isn't saturated yet. It's still pretty dry, so we should be able to absorb a decent amount of the rain that falls tomorrow. But that being said, we could see quite a bit of rain Monday afternoon, upwards of a half a foot in a few spots. Then by Tuesday, I dropped this down to green. I think it's a much lower chance. It's not 0, but it's definitely not going to be as high, I think, as what we see on Monday, just because I think the bulk of the moisture stays farther to the north, so we could see up to 2 inches of rain possible on Tuesday. And then we go back to yellow for Wednesday, and that's because of that second big batch of rain that comes in Tuesday night to Wednesday. If the models continue to show that, we may have to upgrade this even more, because by this point, the ground will already be saturated. The bayous and rivers will be a little bit higher, so flooding could actually be a bigger concern as we get into Wednesday. Bottom line, the chance is there here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I think the 2 days that we really highlight our Monday and Wednesday. Wednesday, we could see up to an additional 3 inches on top of what we already see. So here's the bottom line. Rain starts late tonight. We're actually already starting to see showers out there. It's off and on then as we go through Wednesday, and the overall flood threat is low. I mean, for most of us, we're just going to see high water spots on the roads, a lot of ponding. It's going to be a slow go on the highways and the side roads, and the usual spots that see flooding could deal with that. But I don't think we're going to see widespread flash flooding. I don't think we're going to see bayous overflowing their banks. This is not going to be a catastrophe. But that said, there is the potential that some of those bayous could get close to the tops of their banks as we get to Wednesday. So it's something that we'll have to keep a very, very close eye on. So here's what you can do at home to get ready as we get into the starting week. Make sure that your windshield wipers are in good shape. Make sure that the tread on your tires looks okay. If it doesn't, it might be too late at this point to change the tires out, but just keep that in mind. The more tread you have, the better you're going to do in terms of preventing hydroplaning on roads and highways. And finally, clear the storm drains near your house so that once it does rain heavily, that water can drain appropriately. Also clear your gutters so that everything can get away from your home, reducing the potential of getting flooding in your home. So that's what we're tracking for you. We're going to have updates for you all through the upcoming week here on KHOU 11 News.